Wood County, Ohio, the Black Swamp, a microcosm of Ohio itself, home to Olympic champions, famous performers, Bowling Green State University, and of course, the National Tractor Pull. Wood County has come a long way in nearly 200 years of existence, and so too has the Wood County Prevention Coalition. First originating in 2004, the Wood County Prevention Coalition has evolved and grown from many shapes, and in 2014, they were awarded with the Drug-Free Community Support Program. In short order, the coalition graduated from the National Coalition Academy in February 2016, a distinction for coalitions who are capable of making impactful community-level change in reducing youth substance use. This past February, 6 Wood County Prevention Coalition members journeyed to our nation's capital to learn, to present, to share, to advocate, all things related to prevention. My name is Mylan Karna. I am the coordinator of the Wood County Prevention Coalition.
My name is Francesca Lees. I'm the behavioral health specialist here at the Wood County Community Health Center, and I am actually the president of the Wood County Prevention Coalition.
Kyle Clark. I am the Prevention Education Director here at the Wood County Educational Service Center in Bowling Green, Ohio.
My name is Bill Hamilton. I'm the Prevention Specialist here at Northwood Schools.
I'm Josh Bowen. I'm a part of Northwood High School's Teen Institute group, and I'm a senior.
My name is Felicia Addy. I'm a prevention specialist at the Educational Service Center. I teach prevention education in Bowling Green City Schools. I help facilitate the Junior Teen Institute group at Bowling Green Middle School, and I also facilitate a grandparent support group.
So this year, we got to participate in our 4th National Leadership Forum, and we participated in the 29th Annual National Leadership Forum and Prevention Day for the Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of America. And at this forum, there are, I think there were close to 3,000 individuals throughout the country who joined us and learned more about prevention. We heard from other coalitions and experts in the field, and also as an opportunity to talk to our legislators about the importance of prevention, not only for us, maybe mentioning some of the successful things that we've done and all the things that we do, but also to mention maybe some of the challenges and emerging trends that really make it difficult. Today may be more unlike any other time in our nation's history, in the sense that there are so many challenges that youth face, and really there needs to be voices that speak up for our youth. And for us, it was an opportunity to discuss those challenges and what needs to be done, and and advocate for prevention.
The agenda for the week is really jam-packed from 8:30 in the morning every day till about 5:30, and sometimes there were a couple evenings where we were loaded with meetings till 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. The agenda items, the presentations that are available are really interesting, a wide range of topics. The nice thing about being there with a team is that you can meet in the morning and talk about which agendas, which presentations we want to attend, so that we don't duplicate very often. Once in a while we do, but for the most part we take advantage of trying to spread ourselves out, and everybody get to a presentation that has some kind of interest to our coalition that we can bring back and talk about, discuss, maybe implement some new ideas, maybe retry some things. And it also allows us the opportunity to network with other folks in other states. We're able to see how things work in another region of the country, what kind of success they've had. It gives us, we're able to network there and get contact names, so if we have questions later on, we know who to contact. It gives you an idea of maybe what to look for in terms of problems, or highlights of attainable goals and how best to achieve them. So it really works out for us in that respect.
Really, it's about, you know, we look at Wood County as having our strong coalition. It's really actually known when we go to CADCA. It's really about all the coalitions coming together and seeing what other coalitions are doing, what's working, what's not working with our youth, what do we, you know, need to do better. You know, what are some of the barriers that other coalitions are facing as well. As far as the conferences or the sessions go, there's a lot of different sessions that you can choose from. I happened to go to one on alcohol and opiates this year, and the reason being is because we always hear about the opiate epidemic, but alcohol is just right up there. I think I had heard at first 80,000, but it's like we lose 100,000 a year, and you know, I don't even think we lose that many to opiates. It's very close, but you know, we always talk about the opiates, but it's really just the addiction epidemic. The other one this year, the sessions were really focused on, and I was kind of surprised where they've kind of been lenient, or I shouldn't say lenient, but more laxed on the marijuana aspect and more focused on like youth vaping. I don't know, it's kind of like, you know, the marijuana is becoming the norm, and it kind of scares me, and that people are getting relaxed and not talking about it as much.
We had 2 events. One was focusing on employers and trying to help them consider having a policy that would be more supportive of employees who might want to seek treatment. And then we also had an event that focused on community, just trying to educate them on briefly on addiction, and then talking about medication-assisted treatment, how it works, and what services we have available here in Wood County.
I've never been in a situation where I've actually had to be inside a senator or a congressman's office before, which was really kind of interesting because, you know, both senators that we talked to had a concern about what was going on as far as, you know, the drug situation in our country. The opioid problem is something that they both took a pretty strong stance on. But they were also interested in all the other things that we were doing, you know, within our coalition to make a difference to where we live, and I think that's an important thing.
I had youth sessions that I could go to, and I learned a lot about how other schools in all 50 states are affected with the same type of stuff we are. So like with the vaping stuff, everybody's affected by it heavily, and we were all like talking about how we could try to fight it and combat it. And it was really cool learning what other people have tried doing and how it's potentially working in their schools, and how I could maybe say what was helping in our school and could help in other schools. And then it was really cool because I was the only one from our coalition, but all the other places except maybe one had multiple people, so I had to make new friends. So I got really close with some Rhode Islanders. That was pretty neat.
Capitol Hill Day is an opportunity for every coalition to schedule time with their senators and or congressmen or both, and be able to share with them anything that they're doing, what they're working on, what's good, what's not good, what could happen, what we could do if we had more resources. And so having yourself prepared for Capitol Hill Day is very important. We're very fortunate in that we have with our coordinator, Mr. Karna, he has contacts that he keeps very close correspondence with, and we were able to not only schedule an opportunity to meet with Senator Brown, Senator Portman, and Congressman Latta during the general Capitol Hill Day with other coalitions. We also were able to get a more private meeting with both Senator Brown and Senator Portman at a constituent coffee that they also hold, and that gives us even a little bit more time one-on-one with those two senators. And we are able to take in, we have a very specific goal in mind when we go there. We want to make sure that they have accurate statistics about what we're doing and what's working, what's not working, what we could do more. And we've actually been able to open up a relationship where both senators were intrigued with our medication-assisted treatment plan that the coalition had worked on and developed last year, and that's taking some interest, and they wanted to hear more information, and so we were able to leave them our contact information.
Well, I think what's always, it's always usually just 3 of us going, and this year I think we had 6 total, and it was just really neat to get everybody's different perceptions, what we all differently do. Some of the people that went with us I didn't know very well and really felt like I got to know when I was there. And on Capitol Hill, we were all just really there uniting and advocating to Senator Portman and Sherrod Brown, as well as to the other coalitions. So I think Capitol Hill is a great day to where you can go, advocate to your legislators, meet up with other coalitions, but then at the end of the day, you're just completely and utterly exhausted. So, but you have to have fun in between the walks because it's not like every meeting is right next door. You could have a mile between your next session.
So this was our 4th opportunity to participate in Capitol Hill Day. We've been there in all sorts of weather, whether it's been rain, snow, sunshine. It's been 70 degrees there, and this year it was a fairly decent day for us to participate in Capitol Hill Day. But this is an opportunity for our coalition to tell our story and to basically discuss many of the challenges that we have, but also some of the successes. And since we had such a wide variety of coalition members attend, it was also an opportunity for them to discuss what they do and what they see. And, it's our opportunity to tell our story instead of having our story told by someone else. And prevention is important. Even though we might not necessarily get all the resources in the world, when we do have the resources, we do try to do as much as we can and try to do what's best for our community.
Going to Capitol Hill was really interesting. First, I've never been to Washington, D.C., so that was an experience in itself. But going to Capitol Hill and speaking with senators and congressmen, and then meeting with their aides and getting to discuss things that were really important to us and our agency and the work that we do was really exciting. So it was a really great experience to be a part of. And then also getting to see some monuments that I've only ever seen in movies, so that was pretty cool.
I think for me, what was most enjoyable, since I've had a few opportunities to witness DC, was maybe for some of our folks that hadn't been there, and maybe seeing the expressions and having them have an opportunity to see our nation's capital and being able to interact with our legislators. I was really impressed with how our folks were able to talk about the issues that they cared about. And, it's not easy. It's not easy to tell your story. And, we've been doing it for 4 years, and I was just really impressed with not only our folks, but also Joshua as well. And I'm really glad that he was able to be a part of this process, and he represented Wood County really well.
Well, let me tell you something. That very first day with a young man that has never been in Washington and walking not on grass so much, but nothing but concrete, walking 9 plus, I'm going to say almost 11 miles, was quite the problem the next morning when I woke up. And that's all I'm going to say about it. We had the opportunity to visit Arlington Cemetery, which was quite moving. I mean, if you think about what we have as far as a country, been involved in, and to know that all these gentlemen and women have given their lives to make that happen for our freedom. The Lincoln Memorial and the story that goes along with it was kind of interesting. And I even shared it with some of the teachers here that had no idea that this was actually going on. So it was a great piece of information from Mr. Clark about General Lee. And then we visited the war memorials of Korea and Vietnam. I had an uncle who served in Korea, was actually shot. He has 2 Purple Hearts. In the Vietnam, I had cousins that were involved in that as well. So, and then the trip to the Washington Monument and the Smithsonian, that was all in one day, and it was all one long walk. But very, very nice because, you know, I had never had the opportunity to take the time to do that, even with my families. I mean, we visited, you know, the memorial, but it was in the car, out the car, and then back in, and not actually taking the time to learn some of the things.
One of my favorite parts of the trip was going in DC and riding these little scooters that they have all over the city. There's like, you have to download an app and hook up a card and stuff, but it's like 15 cents a minute to just ride wherever. So right after we would, Capitol Hill Day, right after we would meet with somebody, I'd look for a scooter and then get on it and ride around and keep following them. It was so fun.
I gave everybody that was with us that day a history lesson, kind of being a little bit of a history buff, and that was my teaching field when I was teaching. So I did bring forth a few stories about Arlington Cemetery being Lee's plantation, and during the Civil War, how that was confiscated and turned into a Union cemetery, and has since become our national cemetery. There's also a story, whether it's factual or coincidental, no one has ever really been able to prove, that during the Civil War, the very first property, or one of the first properties we were able to conquer or take possession of, was the land straight across the Potomac River, which is Arlington, which is the name of Robert E. Lee's plantation. They confiscated his lands. We started burying our dead on his farm, on that ground. Now, at the end of the war, he never got his land back. As part of the punishment, it became our national cemetery. Lincoln is forever looking north to the Union. If you look at the sculpture in the back of Lincoln's head, and you may have to go around to the other side of this column to see it, is an outline of Robert E. Lee's profile. And the story is that the sculptor wanted to punish Lee further, and so they forever have him looking backward across the Potomac at his plantation. So Lincoln's looking north, Lee's looking south back at his farm, which is now our national cemetery. The little things like that, and of course we walked through the Korean Memorial. I had a few short stories there, and we walked through the Vietnam display, the Vietnam Wall, and was able to share a few stories there. And it was just a good day. World War II Memorial, and Josh, like I said, he really was excited to soak up some of that history, and hadn't heard some of those stories before. So it was interesting.
Do you have any messages to Wood County youth or other prevention specialists or anyone else that from this trip that you think would be valuable to share?
Well, we need to keep moving forward. We need to keep getting the message and spreading the message and doing what we can do as a coalition and also as prevention specialists to make the youth, to make the community itself understand that what they're seeing out there, what they're hearing about, is the truth. And we don't just say it to say it. We say it because we mean it. And we don't want to see this problem get any worse than it is right now. And that will only work if we do what we need to do and get other people involved in the coalition and within our community.
That just really honestly, to be proud of Wood County Prevention Coalition, because like again, when we go there, everybody seems to know us from Ohio, and I think we had 65 from Ohio this year, and very well known, as well as, you know, not just popularity, but just also the great work that we do here in Wood County, or the great work that we all do in trying to, you know, provide prevention. I think others actually really look up to what we're doing. I mean, we have different coalitions always coming to ask, what are you guys doing now? Or, you know, can we go first, since you guys already know your stuff? So just really honestly, you know, and even when I'm attending these, you know, conferences and screenings, the one thing that I can say definitely be proud of is that we already incorporate a lot of the data into what we're doing. And when we go there, a lot of times, you know, people are taking pictures and they don't know where to find the data, and they've never even seen it before, where in Wood County we're already looking at the data and applying it to what we're doing.
Just the networking opportunities that you get when you're talking to folks, and in some cases you realize that our kids are pretty well advantaged to be living where we're living and having the experiences that we're able to give in terms of prevention and education compared to what some are going through. So it's just a unique opportunity. I will say, you know, one other thing about our coalition. In our first year, I can't take credit for this. Again, this was our coordinator, Mylan Karna, wanted to initiate and start a podcast. And I was not familiar with podcasts, didn't know for sure where we were going with this, but we did. We jumped in. We started working with some podcasts. And when we went to National Forum, I started talking to some other people about podcasts. And to our knowledge, no one in the country in a coalition was doing podcasts. So here again, taking that information helped benefit some of our other coalitions around the country. And I think now there are other areas that are starting to do prevention education podcasts. Again, it's communities helping other communities. You're not only going there to learn about yourself and what you can do for yourself and for your community, you're learning and teaching other communities about what you're doing that's good. So, great opportunity.